If you want to learn how to sing, here's what you gotta do. All you will need is a singer and a tuned instrument to confirm you are singing on key.
Hey folks, I'm here with Eryn Shewell, and if you want to learn how to sing, here's what you gotta do. First of all, if you want to get lessons from Eryn, I know you're going to be impressed with this lesson. She's going to make me sing like an angel, right? No pressure.
No pressure.
You can go to erynshewell.com and contact her for some lessons.
All right.
So first we got to warm up, right?
Well, even before we warm up, I kind of have to give you my whole speech on understanding the vocal cords in the voice and how it works. Most people approach singing with a lack of understanding on how your body works. So the vocal cords are actually a muscle. So you have to treat it like you're an athlete. Most people don't. They just sing, go in full force and just go for it, which is great. But in order to sing properly and properly use your vocal cords, you have to train them, strengthen them, and work them out, just like an athlete would. So I always compare it to a marathon runner. Anyone can run, anyone can walk, mostly, but not everyone can run a marathon. And the difference between the two is the training that goes into it, the training, the working out, the strengthening the core muscles, strengthening the leg muscles, and then practice and practice and practice. So that's what we have to do.
We got to go run. I'm kidding.
We do, yes.
But for the vocal cords.
But for the vocal cords. So this is a muscle. It's part of our bodies. We don't want to mistreat it. And what these lessons do is basically we start with warm-ups, which would be like your stretching, and if you're doing your stretching, and then I have exercises that we would do, which would be more like practicing your marathon itself.
Okay.
So, and then the song, obviously, would be the race, the marathon. So with that said, I will start you on just a couple simple warm-ups, and then we'll do something a little more complicated, and then we'll go into a couple things that I would teach for a song. So the first thing that you want to do is when you're singing cold, always start very simple. Only sing very small intervals. So what that means is don't overstretch your voice right out of the gate. You want to just warm up with a small scale. So
Kind of like stay in your wheelhouse kind of thing. Don't sing notes that are too high for you or too low. Start in the center of your range.
Right, you always want to start in the center of your range, but you also don't want to sing like a full-on scale right out of the bat. You kind of want to just ease into it. So a note at a time. So for what I mean, like an interval is the distance between two notes.
Okay.
So
So
whole steps, half steps. You really kind of want to stay really small. So we usually start out with a half of a scale, and we just do. So what that's going to be is on the ah.
I'm going to try that, but it's going to be very scratchy because it's 10 a.m.
Try it with me or without?
With you.
Good, and then we'll move up the scale and go up a range. Good, so now we will do this all the way up and all the way back down. Just go as high as is comfortable, and then go as low as is comfortable. So I want to go into a little more detail on that ah sound. So can you try one without me?
Okay.
Okay, good. So on the ah sound, we want to make sure that it is a pure, open ah. And what that means is some people don't realize that they're actually putting consonants into their ah. So when you sang the ah, we want to take out all that H sound. So no ah or ha
Yeah.
There's an H in there. And what that's doing is releasing more air from your lungs than you want.
Right, so you get more control.
Right.
Got
So
it.
you want to have no H and no R, which you weren't doing. But an example of the R would be R.
Okay.
So that's jaw tension. We don't want jaw tension. So get rid of all those consonants. You just want ah, like you're going to the doctor's and he says to say ah with that tongue depressor.
Got it.
That's what you want, the ah. So you want to try that again? Good.
Like, I can still hear it a little bit.
So no. It takes time to get used to how it feels.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to just happen in one lesson. But try it again, and then just try to open up the back of the throat as much as you can. Good. That's beautiful. Let's do one more. Good.
A dark voice. Yours is much more forward. I'm like.
You're pulled back
yeah.
more in the throat, but you know we'll get there.
Can't fix everything at one visit.
one little thing at a time. So when you went up to that point in the scale, did you feel like you needed to switch, or did you start
like
to
the
feel
head
tense?
voice?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I did. Did I not?
I-
I'd have to pay attention.
yeah. So around this area
Yeah.
is where, at least on a female voice,
Yeah.
it's what we call a pivot point, and it's your point between your chest voice and your head voice.
Okay.
And some people don't even know that there are there's actually 3 different voices that you have.
Why don't you demonstrate the difference between the sounds?
Okay. So a chest voice would be ah. Full voice, full lung capacity comes from the chest, and that's what you would use the bulk of to sing songs. Your head voice is it's more airy. It sounds more like it's coming from your head.
Yeah.
It's used for the higher pitches,
There's a third one?
and there's a third one.
What's that?
It's usually only more advanced singers sing with it, but an example would be
Like Mariah Carey or something like that? When she was the really squeaky sound?
no. So those are called whistle tones.
Oh, whistle.
Those are whistle tones, which is a whole other. Not everybody has the ability to do that.
Yeah.
You can learn and practice, and you will never do that because you just don't have that like part of your voice.
Right.
But there is what's called a mid-tone or mixed tone, and what you're doing is you're taking your chest voice and your head voice and mixing it together.
Okay.
So a professional example of that would be Ann Wilson from Heart.
Okay.
She sings those like crazy on you.
Oh my god, I love
Like those high,
Yeah.
you know, like so, or some of the old soul singers.
Yeah.
They sing those like like those high.
Yeah.
I can't do it right now.
But I know you can.
I can, but not at 10 o'clock in the morning.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
They those high. They're higher notes, but they don't sound airy because they're pulling in part of their chest voice.
Okay.
So we don't touch on that in lessons usually until we've been working together for a long time.
Okay.
So that's a basic warm up. Then you would want to stretch your voice. Then we would pull in a full scale. But I usually teach with solfege syllables. You know what solfege?
So,
Right.
yeah.
A lot of people don't know solfege unless, so I always say like the sound of music.
Yeah.
Do dear, female dear. Those are solfege. So forward and backwards. Can you do them backwards? So do re mi fa sol la ti do, do ti la sol fa mi re do.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while. I like it. I can remember it.
Yeah. So these are really good because they're working out your tongue, they're working out your jaw, you know, everything that you need to sing words.
Right.
You know.
So you're not just all the
Yes.
time.
No, right. Exactly. And we want to almost over enunciate so that we're kind of like stretching and working out those muscles.
Okay.
So you want to try a couple of those?
Sure.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do it without me? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Good. So now these are the scales where we really would try to incorporate that pivot point and make sure what we want is that chest voice and the head voice to completely match and mix, and you can go in and out of both of them, no problem, switch wherever you need, and you just, you know, you can, they're interchangeable. You can pull out of either one whenever you need them.
Okay. Yeah, I think I tend to go real soft on the note I know I'm changing on, so I don't crack.
Right. So that's what we want, you know, we just want to kind of smooth it over,
Yeah.
like so no one can tell.
Yeah.
So around here, excuse me, hair in my mouth. Okay. I'm gonna go a little bit lower than we just were,
Yeah.
and I want you to try to do the
Chest.
first note or two in your chest, and then switch to head voice, just to show them
Okay.
kind of what I mean. Do, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do.
I tend to stay in head voice going down. I just realized that. Yeah, so I should probably pay attention when I'm going up where I switched.
Yeah, so I think probably do, re, mi on this scale.
Okay.
Try it again.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do.
That's it, yeah. And that was great. Perfect transition. You know, some people have actually missing notes from that part of their voice, from never using it. So it's something that with a lot of my students, I have to kind of work it out. And we sing through it, and especially with men, a lot of men don't want to use the falsetto, their head voice part of their voice. So I try to stretch them up as far as they can go, switch them to the head, and then have them switch back and forth. And so the next part, the next scale exercise that we'll do is helpful with this as well. And it's an arpeggio. I love arpeggios. I would sing arpeggios all day long. So, yeah. So we're still going to use the solfege,
Okay.
but
I don't know where it goes as it goes up.
so it goes do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do.
Okay.
So basically, we're singing the same scale. We're just skipping notes, right? We're singing the third, the fifth, and the octave. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do.
I keep forgetting the notes. I gotta write that down.
Okay, so this is the staircase that Eryn drew for me. And as you can see, it has all 8 notes like a staircase. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And Eryn, these are the third and the fifth.
Yep.
And
Root
so
third, fifth,
root
octave.
third, fifth octave. So when you're doing the arpeggio, it's root third, fifth octave, fifth, third, and back down again. Okay.
Do, mi, sol, do. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do.
If I look right, don't mess it up. I'm doing sorry.
Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. So try a couple without me.
Okay.
So, okay, the reason why I have you sing with me and without me is because a lot of times my students struggle with confidence within their own voice.
That's something I don't lack. I'm kidding. No, but singing.
Which is a great thing.
Yeah, no, singing a little bit. I'm a little, like, I was like, let you sing a little bit more, and I'll kind of hide behind your voice.
Well, that's exactly what it is. So I sing with the student so they can feel comfortable and learn how it's supposed to feel.
Right.
And then I let you sing by yourself,
Yeah.
whoever they're teaching. And then they have to learn how to hear what it sounds like on their own.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when they're singing on their own, they pull back and they hold back. And then they start not singing things correctly. So I can hear when they're singing with me and they're comfortable, and I know that they can physically sing those notes,
Right.
you know, and then I'll pull away and make sure that they can still do that on their own.
Right.
You
It's a
know?
lot easier to listen to you and sing it though.
Well, I'm not always going to be there.
Exactly. That's the thing. So you can do it on your own eventually.
Yes, but that's the biggest problem I find with singers is their confidence,
Yeah.
their self-esteem. A lot of my younger students especially, they want to sing so bad, but
Yeah.
they just they haven't gotten to the point where they can just let it all out.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what's really holding them back is their own mind.
Right.
And with the voice, it's not like you can blame it on anything else. If you play guitar, you could blame it on the guitar.
Right.
But if it's your voice, it's the most personal instrument.
Right.
So a lot of people are timid when it comes to singing.
That's why I like singing with other people. I'm much braver when I sing like a duet.
Yes.
Or, you know, yeah.
Yes. It always, for the longest time, I wouldn't play solo because of that. I always had to have another musician with me.
Yeah.
Even though they weren't singing,
Yeah.
they were just there to
That's
support.
crazy. You have a beautiful voice.
Well, I've gotten over it.
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah. Well, now while we're taking a break from our lesson, I want to ask Eryn a couple of questions about all of her wonderful singing. So, how long have you been singing?
For as long as I can remember.
Pretty much your whole life, right?
Yes, I grew up in a musical family, so I hear stories about how I was singing when I was in the grocery store with my grandma as a baby, and then all of our family events would end up in song somehow.
Oh, that's so nice.
But I didn't think it was unusual until I was a little older, and I was like, "What do you mean? You guys don't all sing at your parties?"
That's fun, though. Yeah. So you've had a lot of training too. Since growing up singing, and then you had some, in school you were in choirs and whatnot.
Yeah, I started out doing the church choir, which it was funny because I didn't actually go to the church. I would show up after church was over and just go to choir. I don't know why they let me do that, but
I feel like all the best singers come from churches, though. Like from church choirs.
yeah, and then that was a lot of fun, and I did sing at all the church events, but then I sang in choir at school, did choir all through high school, ensemble choir, all-state choir, we did music theory in high school, all of that.
Yeah, so you have a very solid background. So what projects are you working on now?
Right now, my two main focuses are obviously my original material, so my own band, Eryn Shewell and the Whiskey Devils, or just Eryn and the Whiskey Devils. Dropping that last name. Because my fiance, Mallory, I also sing in his band, so we're going to be doing some touring with that as well. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So Mallory Band and Eryn Shewell and the
Whiskey Devils.
Whiskey Devils.
And then I also do the Decades of Divas show.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too.
A couple other side projects.
Right. Well, those will show up right here. Okay, so coming up next, we're gonna sing a song together. Stay tuned.
Okay. So we're gonna move on and sing a song, and I'm gonna probably stop you a couple times
Okay.
and kind of make a couple adjustments, and then we'll continue on. But you want to find a song that's pretty simple, Nothing that's too difficult, stays within a certain range. I could actually give you like a small list of songs that I would suggest.
Okay.
If you want.
Yeah, we can put that on the website.
So this is Stand By Me.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. I'm not hitting the notes at all there, that's okay. Stand by me. Stand by me.
Okay, so let's talk about
Yeah. Let's talk about that chorus.
So, when we sing lyrics,
Yeah.
we actually have to enunciate the lyrics differently than we would when we speak. So, the word darling,
Yeah.
right? When we speak it, we say darling,
Yeah.
darling, or without your New Jersey, New York accent.
Yeah.
Darling.
Darling.
But when we sing them, we actually have to open up our vowels more. So, you would actually want to say almost like a D-A-H sound. Darling.
Like we're English.
Yes.
Darling. And you have all your jewelry on.
Yes, exactly. Like we're English and we have all our jewelry on.
Don't forget the jewelry.
So the difference, and there's other words more like you. When you say it, you say you. When you sing it, you want to say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So darling would be darling, darling, stand instead of darling, darling.
Yeah.
So we want to kind of like, the R is almost implied. We kind of get on it and get off.
Yeah.
We want to sing all the vowel sounds and just kind of touch on the consonants.
Got it.
Because they close the throat and the mouth and the lips, and we want to open in order to get those bigger notes. So if you sing that part,
Yeah.
darling, darling, you just jump off of that R
Yeah. Got it.
and try it.
So darling, darling, stand. Like that.
Yes, that's
Got it?
exactly it.
I
Yeah.
like that.
That's exactly it. Okay, let's try it again.
Okay. It's dark, and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me.
So how'd that feel?
Better.
The words feel easier to come out?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You open up those vowels.
I think I'm overthinking it. Don't overthink it. Just sing.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm in the car, I'm like more relaxed. I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah.
So much. I'm trying to impress Eryn.
You don't have to impress
And then
me.
I'm failing. Don't try to impress Eryn. Just sing. Okay.
Okay. So do you have any questions for me?
Well, if you don't play guitar, what do you suggest someone use as, to find the tone so that they know what they're singing, make sure they're singing the right notes?
Right. It's a good question. Okay, so when I work with my students, we usually make personalized recordings, and you'll have them to work with at home. If you play piano, you can use a piano. A lot of times people say that that's easier.
Yeah.
For me, it's easier with the guitar just because I grew up singing with the guitar. But you have to find something that works for you.
Garage band.
There are also very cool resources online that you can use. There's a couple great warm-up tapes on YouTube. And, you know, when you work with a teacher individually, then they will send you home with what you need.
Right.
But if you're trying to teach yourself at home, use the resources you have at home. Look at books. They come with CDs, even though those are ancient now, but you can put them onto your computer. They'll have warm-ups. YouTube has warm-ups. You know, do the research. You can find what you need to sing along with.
Right, or just go to ErynShewell.com and she'll say, yeah.
Yes, I will.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yay. Go team.
Special thanks to our guest, Eryn Shewell, soon to be Erin O'Ree, ErynShewell.com. You are listening to Eryn's song, High School Sweetheart, off of her self-titled album. Please check out my website, hereswhatyagottado.wordpress.com, and if you like what you see, please subscribe.